Hey guys, welcome back. We're up to the point now where we've got the adapter plate all finished up, the bell housing's bolted on, the clutch bearings all set up, the hydraulics have been run and plumbed. So now we can actually start fitting the engine and making some mounts, get this thing mounted up in the bay once and for all. We'll also get into the making the extractors. It looks like it is going to be pretty tight, getting the exhaust and even the Weber Pass steering box, but that's pretty common on sort of this era of Toyotas. So yeah, nothing we haven't had to overcome before. So yeah, this video will be just about getting the motor mounted and sitting in the engine bay. Alright Jordan, where are we up to?
Cutting the cross member and notching it for clearance for the motor.
Yep. So we're down what, about 30 mil?
Yeah, 35.
Yep. And where does that put the bell housing? Just inside?
Put the bell housing up there.
Yep, nice.
What are you doing?
Still trying to clear that edge.
What are you doing?
I'm just... I can't fucking hear. It's fucking terrible.
What, wheel wheels bad? Did you have bird shit wheels? Is that why you're grinding them?
Grinder and paint.
so much room for activities. It's going to be like the longest radiator. We'll probably need like a 13B Cosmo top radiator hose. That's the longest thing I can think of. Okay, so the engine's in and mounted. Jordan's got the front breastplate finished up. Now we've got a small issue with the water pump going to run into the mount, so I'll pull that off. We'll have to weld a 90 or something onto that, and the radiator intake is probably going to be, or outlet's going to be there. Looks like the exhaust is going to get close to this brake line, so we might just pull that over away from the heat. The Weber vacuum port for the brake booster is going to hit here, so we'll have to move that on the manifold. Probably going to have to cut the lug off, weld it up. I guess I'll just put it in the front rotor. Probably a better path to get down from here to the manifold anyway. That's got to be super tight. That brake line looks like we'll have to massage that a little bit, get that out of the way because Weber's coming up here. Yeah, so we might just have to move that bend a little earlier to come in under the booster. But yeah, she's all mounted up, and yeah, we'll keep plugging along, get this thing finished. I think Jordan's just starting on the exhaust now. Okay, so the exhaust is starting to take shape. Had to keep that front one pretty tight so that we can get the rear rotor out and past the steering. As the steering box swings around, the Pitman arm sort of takes up a bit of real estate there, so that's what we're dodging. Okay, so the extractors are now done. It's quite tight in there, but we've got all that fitting. Now that collector just runs down. You can't really see there. I'll have to get on the car. But the collector runs down to the back of the gearbox. The Weber manifold, I've just cut the lug off that and welded up the old vacuum port for the booster. Now you can just sort of get your finger in between there. Now I'll pull that off, I'll mark that, and I'll put a vacuum port in there. Our next small issue is going to be the Weber filter gets close to the brake booster, so I may just have to put a phenolic spacer under the Weber and between the manifold, and then that'll lift it up maybe half an inch or so. That'll get the filter to clear. Plenty of room under the bonnet. The filter, yeah, it's got a mile of room there, so that's not an issue. We've modified the cross member so that we can keep the exhaust up nice and tight. Now it's just a pretty simple 2-into-1 collector, and that just sort of runs up, and you can sort of get a rough idea of how much room there was in there. It does get a little bit tight, but it's in and finished now, so we're going to start working our way back. Alright, there you have it. Engine is mounted up on the mounts. The Weber manifold's been modified. The extractors are on. We've got the just got to make the phenolic spacer for to go underneath the Weber. We'll now be able to get into the fuel side of it, mount a pump, run some lines, need a fuel pressure reg. We'll get a radiator and oil cooler in it and plumb that up over the next couple of days, and hopefully by the end of this week we'll be right to fire this up and throw it on the dyno. Alright, thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, drop a comment, and keep up to date with not just the progress on this build, but others that are to come in the future.